Show off lipstick. What are we doing here?
Okay, we're going. We're starting. Put that in there. Thank you. Thank you, Carrie Carabas. Welcome to Two Tired Twats Comedy Podcast. My name is Patty Rossborough. I am here with the fantastic Carrie Carabas, who is chewing gum. I hope Kevin Brennan doesn't give you shit for. Yeah, please use my cat. And we are here. We have a fantastic guest today.
The Latin lunatic.
The Latin lunatic. What was the song you were singing from Puerto Rico? Very quickly.
What's the song you always hear when in the parade? You know,
And what
it's
is it?
about pride of the flag. Que bonita bandera, que bonita bandera.
I've never heard it.
Que bonita bandera, la bandera Puerto Rican. What a beautiful flag! What a beautiful flag.
Maybe
flag
I've
of
never
Puerto
been
Rico.
to one of those parades. I went to say rape. Rapes.
You were about to say
I meant to say,
Well, you go to the Greek parade, everybody goes backwards. You know.
That's
but,
true. You don't want to bend over there.
Yeah.
We have J.J. Ramirez here today.
Ramirez. How about
Ramirez.
Ramirez.
Sound like my teacher in school, Ramirez.
Ramirez.
He used to call me Ramirez. Like, really, Ramirez, is that hard? Ramirez. Yeah, all right.
What's the J.J. for? J.J.?
Juan Jose.
It is not.
Yes.
My actual name, well, she might know. My actual name,
Why
the
would
birth
Carrie
certificate, is Johnny Joe.
Johnny Joe?
Not John Joseph, not Juan Jose, which you should be. It's actually Johnny Joe. That's my actual name.
You sound like you're a hillbilly from Alabama.
I used to have a joke, right? I was the forgotten son on the old Petticoat Junction show. Remember?
I remember Petticoat
Yes.
Junction.
Remember, there's Johnny Joe. He ain't even on the show at the junction. I'd be in the back sweeping. Betty Joe, Billy Joe, Bobby Joe, and then Johnny Joe in the back.
You know, people don't know that show now,
Well,
but
listen,
that was
there's
my
references.
favorite fucking show. I
Oh, it's
There's
great
three
show.
hot bitches.
It's three girls, and I had I was one of
Banging
three
their
sisters.
uncles.
Yeah, banging the grandfather.
That's
Their
right.
grandfather.
Yeah.
That's
Remember, also you had Green Acres back.
I loved Green Acres. These are all the shows I watched.
These kids don't know the
They
great
don't
shows.
know
They
the
don't
good
know the
shows. Now they're
fantastic
watching
shows.
the Kardashians.
Yeah, the Kardashians.
All the reality shows.
You know, the
and
Kardashians, to me, I don't understand how they attract all these brothers. I mean,
Do you like a big ass, JJ?
What's
You're
that?
Latin. Wait
Of
a
course I
minute.
like
Come
Adam
on, you
loves
like
big
a
ass.
lot
I like
of
a big
women.
ass. I just don't want to create it in a doctor's office. I want it natural. Okay? And these women, all these brothers hanging around the Kardashians, you'd think after the third K, they'd get the idea that maybe there's a red flag here.
Wait a
You
minute.
know, what is that? You know what the K stands for? You know, it's kryptonite because they get weak around these women.
No, here's what I want to say.
Go ahead,
Could
Carrie.
it be the cash
Who
that
knows?
comes with the Kardashians?
I think that's
Publicity.
the one is worth 10 years ago. She was like 65 million.
Yeah,
Kim.
she's loved,
So-
they love the brothers.
The little one's worth the most.
Yeah, she's worth the most
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
but
she's
she's
the
also
youngest.
the prettiest.
Bruce Jenner's daughter.
They
She's
got
had
no
the
legs.
least-
They got no
Kylie.
legs.
What does that mean? They got
They-
no
they-
legs.
I'm a leg man. I like shapely, firm legs. From the knees down, they're chicken legs. They look like flamencos.
Yeah, you gotta have.
You look at the old models back in the day, Stephanie Seymour.
You gotta have
Yeah.
sturdy
You know-
legs
you
to
know
go
what I'm
with
saying?
that ass, right?
You see that legs?
Yeah.
And when they put on the high heel and that calf muscle comes out, that is just absolutely sick.
Really?
Chicken legs, flamencos.
Chicken
They're never together,
legs.
like flamencos.
See, you're talking to Adam.
Flamencos.
Adam likes a big ass and big legs.
Big
Yeah.
legs,
But it's
big
like a
tits.
big. It's like a
Adam
big
knows,
lollipop.
what, Adam
It's like
knows
a
what's up.
big lollipop.
Oh,
It's like
Kardashians.
little sticks and big
Yeah, break
lollipop.
up
You
that.
like
It's
that or
like-
you don't like
no,
that?
No, you gotta have the sturdy
Kardashians.
thighs.
I always remember
Yeah,
Yeah,
Adam.
but a
Sturdy
sturdy thigh could snap your neck.
That's the
Kardashians.
risk.
Kardashians,
of
That's
the
what he
women.
wants.
The whole empire was started on the sucking of one dick. Okay, come on.
That really is true.
True.
That's how
That
it
is
started.
the truth of
sucking
it.
of
That's
one
so
dick
true.
started an empire.
Who
you know
was?
what?
And it was that guy who.
The mother leaked it, didn't she?
Ray
Wasn't
J,
it the
Ray
mother?
J, the brother of what's her name, the singer, Brandy.
But that wasn't the first person she sucked
But
the
what
dick.
I'm
I thought
saying-
it
Oh no,
was
that
the
was
other.
the one that was filmed.
Oh, that was the one.
The
Oh,
mother leaked the film.
Of course.
She was
This is
smart.
like-
The mother was
Wasn't
the business
Ray
These
J
women,
the
they-
one who gave drugs or was with Whitney Houston when she died? Wasn't he dating her at the end?
I don't know. She
No?
was with
No,
she was with Bobby Brown.
Ray J's a lot younger.
I know, but he was
No,
with
she
her
was-
that
she
night.
was
Really?
with- she was Bobby
Somebody
Brown.
look it up who's listening, and we'll see.
All I know is the Kardashians have accosted more goddamn black men than a stop and frisk, for Christ's sakes. Enough. Jesus.
So
You don't like-
can
Get
we
the
just-
hint.
I want to say when I first met JJ back in the day.
Well, how long
No,
ago
he-
did you meet
here's
him?
it. No, I didn't.
I
but
just celebrated
before
37.
I met him.
37 years in the business?
Last Friday, April 5th.
Yeah, I think I've been 35, although I
Yeah, you're
quit for a
coming up
while.
on
I've been 30, 31, 32 around there.
37,
Really?
years,
But-
1981.
I met Angel Salazar for the first
Check it
time.
out, JJ. Carrie Carruthers got 10 minutes. I need 5. Check it out.
He sounds exactly like
That's very
Check it out.
good.
I
But
can, he
the
dies, I
first-
can do his act.
the first thing he says to me. Let me ask you a question. You know JJ Ramirez? And I go, yeah. And he goes, do you have sex with JJ? So I'm like, no.
What?
Right? So now.
Why would he ask you that?
That was the question.
What's the face for?
Hold
You
on.
just say no. What's the
I
face?
was like, no.
What's the
Because
face
I
for?
never banged comics.
What's
Why
that?
sprinkle
I didn't
your
bang
nose?
comics.
Nobody thinks I'm
Never.
a comic. You could have banged me.
Wait. So then I worked with him somewhere, and he goes, let me ask you a question. You know,
Yo.
Angel? I go, yeah. He goes, did you have sex with? I'm like, what is this?
They're in
You guys-
competition
what
with each
was
other.
that?
Angel-
What- I
Angel-
want to know
Bang
what that
sooner.
was.
Angel would go into a club if I was there the week or 2 weeks before, and he'd get me in trouble because the first thing go on stage he goes, how many of the waitresses here fuck JJ Ramirez? Put up your hand. Of course, I put a hand. I get a call the next day. Did you talk to Angel? Why is he saying that we had? I didn't say anything. Don't listen to him. He's an
He does
idiot.
it all the
He's
time.
just he does it all the time just to mess with me. He goes, yeah, but I almost put in my hand, and there was another girl, one of the other waitresses. So you banged her when you banged me? I thought you said you wanted with me. He gets me in trouble all the time.
You know,
Yeah,
Now, this is back in the 80s when that was fun.
Right,
Okay.
right. But you guys used to have a competition of
Not
some
really,
sort.
no.
He always had hot girls. You always had hot girls.
Well, he had hot
Always.
girls because he was in movies and he did that movie Scarface. Otherwise, he wouldn't have anything.
I was going to say, I mean, he was attractive for about, this is terrible to say,
2
because I know
minutes.
he's not going to, for a year. And then I don't know
If
what
you like a
happened.
dwarf.
Yeah, but at least he was a hot dwarf. You know, he had abs, he had muscles.
Well, he had
the
muscles 'cause
brown
he
hair.
was doing roids.
He was doing steroids. That's why he was built like that.
He asked me one time. We had the
Truth comes out.
we had
Angel.
the comedy troupe El Barrio USA for like.
What do you mean that you had a Latin comedy troupe?
Yeah, for like three or 4 years.
Where'd you perform?
We performed at a lot of the big venues. We had the old Village Gate we were at.
Oh yeah.
Then we did 3 years at Caroline's, and then we took it on the road to Vegas. We
Really?
took it
Now,
to
who was
LA.
in it? You,
Me,
Angel?
Angel.
Joey Vega.
For a while, and then Joey got out. There was Quentin Higgs.
It's not
Quentin Hayes,
Latin.
He's black.
No, it doesn't matter. We had other different people.
Oh.
But also Daphne
He's
Rubin.
black and white.
One of the
I
main,
guess that
one
makes
of the
him
main
black.
girls, and it was Daphne Rubin Vega, who went
Who's
out
she?
starring Rent on Broadway.
Wow, yeah,
went
big
on Bro- and
names.
she had a big hit record, and you may remember the movie with Matt Damon and the two girls
I don't
when
remember.
they were screwing, and she played one of the detectives with Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
Oh, the one where they all got molested.
Yeah, and
Yes.
the Coos teacher.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. I
it was
can't
all
remember.
Bro-
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, she was in that. She was in that, and we also had Mel Gorham, who was in a lot of movies with she was in Smoke. She was in we had some good
Did
actors.
you make money at this? Was this a
Well,
money? Like,
we wrote our skits, and we did it like I said, we had 3 years over at Caroline's, and it went well. We had a nice following.
but you can't make money when you're in. I was in a
Well,
troupe. We never made money because you got to split it 6 ways. you know?
Yeah, but we also had famous singers come on before they got famous. We had Mark Anthony on when he was just a young, skinny kid
He
from the
stole
Bronx.
the Check It Out.
Yeah, well, he loved
I
Angel.
saw him on
Oh,
the
really?
Super
Yeah, yeah,
Bowl,
yeah.
and he went, Check It
Yeah,
Out.
He did?
No, he didn't steal it.
Yeah.
He was
Using it.
Using it, yeah. But he was a skinny little kid with long
Borrowing
hair.
it.
He must have weighed like 10 pounds, and as soon as he opened his
He
voice,
still weighs 10
as
pounds.
soon as he opened his voice, the girls went nuts.
Let me tell you
Yeah.
something. I look at him, and I remember when his wife was whatever her name is, J-Lo.
J-Lo?
And
Not a wife
she's
anymore.
sexy, and I look at him. He's like if Frank Sinatra had an uglier face. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like.
Hey, listen, he's a
not-
friend. I know the guy.
Oh,
I know his
sorry.
brother. He's a
But
friend.
all I'm saying is
Women
he's
love
not-
him.
he's
Women
not
love him.
Yeah, women
attractive.
like
You know what?
Women like
Frank
men
Sinatra
that have
wasn't the
money.
most handsome guy.
No,
in the
he
world,
wasn't.
But he opened that voice. That voice, you sing that voice,
Yes.
and women will melt.
Yes.
Why is he so
This guy from
skinny?
England, is he pretty? This red hair with the mopper
Yeah, yeah.
that looks like if you
Sheeran.
blow it back, Sheeran.
Sheeran.
You know
Oh,
he's
he's
combing
repulsive.
his hair forward because there's nothing there
Yeah,
but
yeah,
a
that's
bald
terrible,
scalp.
too.
So he's combing it forward. And soon he's going to have to go bald because you can see it's disappearing. But he opens his voice, his mouth,
Women love
and
him.
women, listen.
They like
he's a great
that
songwriter.
with the bank account that
Of
follows.
course. Well,
you know.
what woman doesn't like a bank account, right?
I never
I
looked.
did.
for
Oh
a guy
yeah, well
with
you're
a
the
bank,
special one,
with
Patty.
a bank account.
You
I
were the
never cared
special
about
one.
money.
I didn't either, but now I've changed my
Oh,
tune.
I mean, of course, as you
I've
get
changed my
older, you
tune now.
think like when I say to my daughter, I go, well, just make sure. Like, nobody ever had that conversation with me. Make
Yeah,
sure.
nobody told us.
Right. When you marry a guy, because I want to be sure because when I get put in the old folks' home, like I want a place that doesn't
That's
smell
nice.
like piss. You know what I mean?
That they're
So-
not going to beat the shit out of you for fucking
Exactly. So that's
asking
why
them for water.
I'm more careful with my daughters. Make sure they have jobs.
So you're looking out for yourself.
I am looking out for
Well,
myself.
all parents do that. You know, get them the good jobs, get them the good education, so they can take care of your ass when it comes
My
down.
mother never had that conversation with me, though. It's weird.
Your mother didn't like you.
Yeah, I think that's actually
I,
true.
mean, I have no kids. I'm going to depend on my niece and nephews. I'm like,
Yeah,
don't
now
forget,
let me ask you
don't
something.
forget Uncle JJ.
Now you're not
You
married.
don't know if you have kids because you've had a lot of girlfriends.
I'll tell you a quick story.
Here's what you could do.
I'll tell you a quick
Go
story.
get that saliva test.
No, he
I'll
doesn't
tell you-
want to do that. Then he'll find out about all
I'll
the
tell you a
kids he
quick
does.
story.
Knocking on the
my
doors.
Mom died in 03. And,
Wait, your mother died in 03.
03, yeah, I was very distraught. You know, but
Were you
That is
close to your
sad.
mother?
Of course I was.
Of
you know.
course.
Oh.
But my sister make a long story. She goes to the spiritualist. You know, mom's in a good place. Blah blah blah.
Wait, she went to a spiritualist?
Yeah, you know, Latin people. I love that.
Talk to the dead.
So apparently,
Carrie
this
believes in
this
that.
woman brought up my name. Now I'm driving back from a gig in Virginia Beach, and
Mm-hmm.
I talked to my sister who's in California because you know it's earlier there, and she keeps me awake while I'm driving. Anyway, she tells me I went to this thing for mom. She's in a good place, but this woman brought up your name, and I'm like, well, what do you mean she brought up my name? You must have mentioned me. No, I didn't mention. it. You must have because there's no. And then she got pissed at me. God damn it! I wasn't there for you. I didn't bring up your goddamn name. She brought you up.
She said JJ?
She said you have a brother, older brother named Johnny or JJ, and I said, well, listen, if she says something evil, I don't want to know about that. Hocus
Right.
pocus.
I don't want to know
She
either.
goes, no. She says you have a brother, and I see a little girl with his face with half Asian features. So apparently I have a half
Wait.
Asian
You have a
daughter.
brother?
No. That she told the
Oh,
woman
your
told
brother.
my sister. Told
Her
my sister
sister.
You have a brother.
that you have a brother, me, your older brother, and I see a little girl.
So in other words, he's getting Asian kids
I
somewhere.
got a half Asian kid.
Did you
So
bang
do
an Asian
how many,
woman?
How many
Many.
Asians?
Many.
Many.
Yes.
Many.
Yes.
Well, why wouldn't these women tell you if you have
Well,
an Asian
Well,
woman?
maybe he
the only-
left town fast.
It messed me up for like five months because I'm thinking, you know, it's
You're
something
thinking
like.
of every Asian girl you've
well,
been with.
But then I remember one. Here's another story.
Did you call her?
No.
Was you gonna find her now?
Yeah, there's no way I'd find her. But the only reason I remember this woman because her name was Ronnie No. This is what she called
Well,
herself.
why can't you find her if her name's Ronnie
Because
Nyo?
I'll tell you the story. I'm working in Daytona Beach, and I'm driving with this comic. You can drive on the beach after a certain hour.
Oh, yeah, I hated that. Because
Right.
then
But you
if
can
you
drive on
laid
the
on the
beach.
beach, you'd have fucking
So me
cars
and the
running
comic
you
is
over.
this big white kid from, very funny kid. I forget his name, but he was from the Midwest, and we were talking about all the women, blah, blah, you know how guys are. And we're just going to the women, you know, blah, blah. And I said, you know, one thing I've never been with is an Asian woman at that point. He goes, me neither. I never had an Asian. Me neither. And that's the one thing and I love Asian women. I never.
They're very beautiful.
And as we speak, I kid you not. This
They
is
have
like
slanted vaginas.
what's that? Yeah, but I went in sideways. Like, so there's a dune, and there's an Asian girl sitting on the dune, you know, like with her knees up like this, looking at the ocean. And I'm looking at her like, you got to be kidding me.
Like God brought it to
We're
you.
just talking about how we never. And so I say, stop the car. So I go up on the dune, and I, you know, meet her. She says her name is Ronnie No. She's from New York. She's, you know, vacationing with a friend. So I
You
invited-
had game back then. Big.
So I invited her to the show. Anyway, she comes to the show. After the show, we all go out dancing, and we're at this club.
You
in-
can
in
dance?
Daytona. Ooh.
Oh, of course. Latin lunatic.
Men are such bad dancers usually. All right.
We're dancing, and in the middle of the dance floor, like at the third song, fourth song, she says to me, would you mind very much, and I could barely hear her because of the music, you mind very much if I make love to you? She said this to me.
Me love you long time.
And I'm like,
Did you want money?
I'm like, what'd you say? What? You mind very much if I make love to you? So, of course, I'm like, check. Can we get a check, please? We're out of here. Back to the hotel.
You self-manifested it.
I swear to you, up to that point, never. And she appears on a dune. I mean, you
That's
can't
self-manifestation.
make this up.
Right.
So we're back at the hotel. She stayed over. You know, we went at it for a couple hours, and then I'm sleeping, and I'm having a dream that I'm getting, you know, fellatio. I'm getting blown.
Fellatio?
Yeah.
What are you speaking Latin all of a sudden?
I'm trying to keep it clean here. I'm talking to
Blowjobs.
talking to two twats. What am I talking about? So I wake up, you know, groggily, and she's going down on me.
Wait, so your dream was
I'm
your
dream-
reality?
It's your reality. She's going down on me.
Wow.
But what she did was, while I was still groggy, just, you know, because I was in a deep sleep, she climbs on top of me and pretty much has her way. And I'm trying to get her off because I haven't had no condom. I was back then, you know, diseases.
Responsible.
Right. And I wasn't thinking about kids. I was thinking about, you know, diseases.
Right.
Because you just
So-
met her on a dune.
So
she could have had a crab.
I got very
Maybe
mad.
she wanted a baby.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's the only one I can think of.
Oh,
so I
that's
got very
it.
mad at her. I got very
Wait,
mad. Don't
so
ever
did you,
do-
wait, hold on. Did you come inside
Yes,
of her?
I did. And
You have
because
a
she
baby.
did, so I says, listen, don't ever do that again. You don't know me. I don't know you. I got to, oh, I trust. I don't care. I don't know you for you to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that
yeah,
to me.
yeah.
You know, it was like I got, you know, like I
Raped.
see what women feel like. Yeah. And I didn't care about that. I just didn't want to get diseases. That's the only thing in my head.
Right.
So anyway, boom, boom, boom. We go out again. We go to bed. And I see a couple
So we
of
do it again.
So,
All of a sudden, I wake up. She's standing on her head,
so I hang out again back in New York. She
trying
had
to
an
get that
apartment.
sperm in there.
She had an apartment up the block from
In Manhattan?
In Manhattan, she was a businesswoman. She had the
Wow,
little
so
studio.
you should've
Businesswoman.
She had a
fucking
studio
banged her
apartment around the corner from Macy's, up on like 40, what was that, 46 or whatever.
All right.
Well, that was a
And
step up
she
from your
kept a
project,
beautiful,
right?
beautiful apartment. And of course, I always wore protection after that. But then after that, the last I heard that somebody had told me she married some Asian guy, moved to Jersey or whatever.
Hold on a
That's
minute.
the last. But
How
that's
long
the
did-
only one I can think
But hold
of.
on. How long did you hang out with her for?
A couple of months.
Right. But would you have seen her belly bump?
No, no.
No, because people don't look pregnant until like the third
If it
month.
was
No, no,
over
no. I didn't
6
see
months.
her after that because after that she left. And the last I heard that she married some guy and moved to Jersey.
It might not be her.
It might not be her.
Could have been a different
I'm
Asian
just
girl.
saying that's the
You
only one I
always
can
wore a
think
condom?
of. Oh, just about, yeah.
Always.
Always, yeah.
Just about. You know,
Well, there's times where people and
Fall in love.
you trust and
and
but-
trust. You still. Okay, here's the thing, though. I always thought was it true or not, JJ? Wait, all these people are writing things. Should we be reading what they're saying?
No,
If
go
they're
ahead.
saying that
Okay.
they're saying to my daughter, hang up for Christ's sake.
Wait, Chris D. Train Donovan wrote, I wished for a hamburger, then drove by a McDonald's.
You self-manifested.
He manifested it.
You manifested it yourself.
Listen, I'm just telling you it happened. We are talking about how we've never been with Asian
I
women.
don't know if he believes you, but I believe you.
I
Well,
believe that.
Listen, we were just having fun.
Hey,
I've been with Spanish girls, Italian girls, but
Right.
how about Asian? No, man, me
Okay,
neither.
here's
Never.
the thing I
and
wanna
there
know.
she is on a sand dune. You can't
and
make
then
this
she
up.
wants to fuck you. It's a
That
self-manifestation.
she initiated the whole thing.
Right. Here's
but
the thing
not if I hadn't invited her.
Right.
If you just drove past her, it never would have happened.
Here's the question I have for you, because I
Right.
remember doing gigs with you back in the day. This is back when there would be a driver. Remember, there would be
Right.
one driver on the show.
The MC.
We'd all get into their
Well,
car.
that's when
It
you,
was the
you get
MC.
picked. You get picked up at the Improv
That's
back in
right.
the day to go to like either Palazzo's gig or,
Right.
or Jerry's.
And they had a driver.
And you had one driver, and they take you. Sometimes they took 6 comics to 2 different gigs. but
Right.
usually
Bobby
they did 3
Gonzo
comics,
was one of the drivers
and
for
they
Rascals.
take you to gigs,
That's
and,
right.
and they pick you up at
So-
the Improv because it was right by the tunnel, and you got all these Jersey gigs.
So
That's
I
the way it
remember
was.
this one time with JJ, right? We finished the gig. JJ, of course, headlined. And we're like waiting in the car, and we're like, I just want to go home. Like, we're tired. And JJ's like working the crowd, and the girl, and and we're all sitting in the car, like, where the fuck is JJ? Where's JJ? And someone goes,
Getting a piece of ass.
I think he's getting blown behind the dumpster. I go, what are you talking about? He comes like running out all happy, and he's tucking his shirt in, right? And I'm thinking, is this guy making this shit up? Who's blowing JJ behind a dumpster after a gig? I mean, what girl?
A lot of women like funny.
You guys remember Mike Ivy?
I remember Mike
Black
Ivy. I love
comedian,
Mike Ivy.
Funny
Yes,
guy,
very
that
funny.
great Southern accent. So we're doing this gig in Jersey, and it was near the shore. And I'm with this girl in the kitchen, and I'm on the ice machine. And
This is after the show?
after the show, and they all want to leave. They always got mad.
It's like, let's fucking go.
yeah, and
JJ's
Daddy, we want to go home. What the? And this girl's doing me on the ice machine. So the whole night they were calling me the Iceman. We go, God damn. He tells the story. We want to go home, and we're looking for Dave, and he's getting a blow dump on the ice
It's
machine.
really annoying. It was so annoying.
Always,
But was that real?
everywhere.
Was that real?
Yeah.
You were really getting.
Yes.
Okay, so what is your
What's
game?
what do you say to them?
to get a blowjob?
Hey,
You
I'm
know
really
what?
funny. Blow me.
I've been with ladies who wanted to marry me, this and I never understood why. Because I looked at myself like, come on, what
You never wanted to get married.
never. And
You didn't even want a real girlfriend either.
I've had girlfriends, but
1 month, 2 months.
But I've had girlfriends who for whatever God-given reason, I don't know why. It's because I look at myself. Maybe I was prettier then, but
No.
they were.
No, he was cute. He was.
He was cute.
But-
you were
but
cute.
they were
You were
possessive.
little. You were funny.
They were possessive.
That was the key.
They were possessive.
Who, the
right
women?
away. The girls that I would date.
But you like to play
Right.
the field. You're not going to be
yeah,
monogamous
and
with
I would
anybody.
be honest with them about it, but they got very possessive.
Why can't you be
And
monogamous?
I never understood why are you possessive over me. You guys, I even said you can do better. You
But
can do
why?
better.
Why?
You can
why,
get a guy with a job.
Yeah.
Wait
for
a
me.
minute. But why can't you just be with one girl? What's the deal with that?
You know what? I grew up in the age of Playboy and Hugh Hefner, and I used to read all the magazine. And his lifestyle was was so cool when you were a kid. all the women, and he wasn't a handsome guy either.
No, he was ugly.
But
Ugh.
he had the charisma and he had the and
He had
He
the
wasn't even a
cash.
good lay.
Can
People
we talk
the-
about the
yeah,
cash?
but the thing is, and that's the way it was, and that's what I grew up with in my mentality. I'm
Yeah,
not
but
saying
most
it's
guys
right.
get over it. Most guys look at Playboy,
I
then they
did.
become
I did.
24,
Aren't you
25.
bored of different women all the time?
Actually, well, I think it's the opposite. You get bored of one.
Now,
woman.
do you have a woman?
I date around now. The
You're
last
still
girl,
the
the
same.
last girl I had was very young, very 22.
But see, why do you want a young girl?
No, I didn't. It just turned out to be someone who took a liking to me in one of the comedy clubs.
So
And
that's where
one
you
of the
meet your
waitresses
women.
told me that girl, and I said, well, I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm too old for her. I'm old enough to be her father. But they don't take no for an answer. And after a while, you just give in because it was flattering. It was
But
older.
what about suppose 20 years from now, you need
I'll
to
be dead.
you need to be taken to the hospital because you have an aneurysm or something.
Jesus, I'm a hypochondriac. I'm a hypochondriac, for
Wow.
Christ's sakes.
I know,
Don't
so am
my
I. This is really
God.
Adam, jump in here. Help me out
But
here.
you
for
don't
Christ's sakes.
have a woman in the bed next to you to go, honey, take me to the hospital, or honey,
No.
you take care of the rent while I recuperate. Like, don't you want someone? Don't you want
Can
somebody?
you change my diaper? You want?
Don't you want someone
is
who
that
will
what you
change
want
your
him to-
diaper? Yeah,
No,
don't you,
you know
want
why?
someone?
Because you get these women when you're older to come in and take care of you. You pay for this whatever they call it, hospice or whatever, and they come to your house and they take it. Sometimes they can mistreat
They
you.
wipe your ass.
Yeah, they mistreat. You know what? If I'm going to pay that kind of money for a woman to do that to me, I'd rather do it. Pay a hooker. Because you can wipe my ass, you can do that, and then I get a little, happy ending at the end.
Do
Now
you
I'm
still
happy.
have a perfect erection,
What's that?
or is it
Every morning.
slowed down?
Floppy?
No, is it floppy a little since your age got older, or are you still a
Don't put
Latin
that idea in his
lunatic?
head because he's got a.
Do you need the Viagra assistance?
Not yet. You know what? But like I say in my act, my time, I'm going to pop it like candy. Why not?
What's pop it like candy? mean?
Eat
The
it.
Viagra.
Oh, Viagra.
Yes.
Oh, you will if you
You
need
know
it.
what?
He
I
has
never
to.
had that when I was a kid. We always went on pride. Like
There's
I
like
don't need
a
no
small
pill.
chance you could go blind. Men don't care.
Is that wait? That is.
Men don't
That's
care.
why you got your hands. You'll always find your dick.
Wait a minute. You can go blind from
There's
Viagra.
a small chance you can go blind with Viagra.
There's a small chance you can
It's
get
a
a heart
side
attack
effect.
from aspirin. You know what
It's
I
a
mean?
heart attack. No, it's a small side effect. But men don't care. They're like, that's fine.
To them,
They use the same thing about masturbation.
what's wrong with
You
masturbation?
go blind masturbating too much.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? So I can't see the wall. That's okay.
So wait a minute. So this is what I want to know. So you have a sister. You loved your mother. See, I was thinking you didn't love your mother
Why would you think that?
because you don't have a woman that you love now. So I'm
Because
thinking,
Patty
my mother,
thinks
my mother
all comedians
was
have
first
Have
of all,
terrible
Latin,
childhoods.
first of all, I'm a Latin boy. And Latin boys, the only other probably ethnic group that loves their mother so much is probably
oh,
the Jewish
really?
kids.
More than Italian guys? Italian
no,
guys.
Italians and their mothers,
well,
Greeks
Italian-
and their mothers, and the Spanish
Latin
and their mother.
My
The-
mother,
I
my
don't
mother,
think the Jewish women.
Well, I don't want to bring this up, but my mother, she was living with my sister, my other sister, up in near Peekskill, and I was on my way to see her that Monday to have dinner with her, and because she spent many years with my other sister down in Atlanta, and I only see her once a year for Christmas.
How many are you? 3?
4.
4.
Wait,
You're
two-
the only boy?
No, there's 2 boys and 2 girls. I'm
Okay.
the
Oh,
oldest.
okay.
My brother's the youngest. 2
You
girls
get
and a
along
twin.
with him or no?
I get along with him. Yeah.
All of
She
them.
liked you the best because you were the first?
Well, I was the only grandparent I ever knew was her mother, and she already had 11 grandchildren. My mother's one of 15.
Wait a
Wow.
minute.
So I was her first American-born grandchild.
Of 15.
Wow.
I was her first. My father was one of 10. I was her first American-born grandchild. So it was very special to her. And I was born on a holy day. I was born on Good Friday. So
That's
they thought I was going
hilarious.
to be probably going to be a priest or something.
Are you religious?
You
a
know
little?
what? I'm more religious than I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
I
go to
told
church.
my buddy Vega.
You go to
He's
ch-
not religious at all. But
Who, Joey Vega?
Yeah, he's pretty much had it. He's fed up.
That's Patty.
Yeah.
That's me.
But you know.
They've let me down too many times.
Yeah.
The fucking priests and the
Hey,
nuns
look,
and
I
the.
got the,
What do you got?
He's got the cross.
That's a cross. Wait, pull that up. Let's see. Oh yeah, what does it say underneath that?
Maria.
That's my mother's name.
Oh wow. Okay, so you were close with
yeah,
your
That's
mother.
also
and
the
that
first
night,
one.
that day, I go to see her. She had some stomach thing, and
Right.
it turned out to be the last
Time you saw her?
Yeah, she passed away before I got there, and
Oh, you didn't even get to see her?
no. But I saw her every Monday after that. But when she stayed with my other sister here in Peekskill, I got to see her the last 3 years more than I ever did when she was 13 years down in Atlanta, because she was, when I didn't go down there for Christmas.
Well,
So
what about your father? So you were close to your
my father died when I was 26. He had
26. Were you close to him though?
my father and I had a rough relationship.
A rough
Yeah, he
relationship.
was a drinker, and He was old school macho.
Beat the shit out of you.
Oh yeah.
Did he beat the shit out of you?
Yeah,
off,
that's
yeah.
it.
That's
But
what the fathers did back then.
That's what they did back then.
My father
Your
used to give us the
discipline,
belt.
My father never touched us.
Really?
Ever.
My father shouldn't.
My
have, but
mother-
my
Yeah,
father
but-
drank.
but-
My mother would beat the shit out of us so bad. First of all, my mother would hit herself first.
What do you mean?
She would
To
bite
warm
her-
up.
You would
Carrie.
See,
Well, that's Italian. Like,
No, she would bite her hand, and if there was blood, you were dead.
yeah.
But she would throw shit at me. One time I was running. She was always on the phone. I'm like, Ma, 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 Ma. And she's like, so she took her coffee cup, and I see her
terrible.
like glazing over. And I run for the bathroom door, and she throws the coffee cup, and I shut it, and it like missed me by a hair, and it shattered everywhere. I'm like, this
my
bitch
God.
is
It's
fucking
crazy.
crazy.
Now, you
That's the way it was back in the day. Your parents, there wasn't this thing
Right.
about you're going to get in trouble, you're going to go
No
to prison.
CPS.
That was this. And you know what? Kids today, I think, need it. Not obviously to the point of but they need discipline because these kids today have no respect for any adult, let alone their own parents. When I
None.
see shows when somebody's called, shut up, Mom, you're a bitch. I would call my mother a bitch. I would call my father an asshole. Really. If I wanted teeth, I'm gonna call my old man. That never happened.
Back then, yeah, you
Back
could
then,
never
you
do that.
Never happened.
You got to hear the way my daughter
So
talks
my old
to
man,
me.
my old man
That-
was, he was pretty strict, but
Wasn't playing
but
that
at the
shit.
same time, he kept a roof over our heads, a lot of jobs.
Did he like you doing comedy?
Huh?
Did he like your stand-up?
He never got to see it, but
He
did-
never came, though?
No, he.
No, you were
no,
26 when he died.
Yeah,
You didn't start till-
I started. He got to see one little tiny review, which I still have, because you got books with all
And what was
reviews.
it of? And what is...
A little place that used to be on 55th Street with.
What's the name of it?
Used to be the New York Comedy Club, with the Jewish girl.
Catch?
No. New York Comedy on 55th between 2nd and 3rd.
Oh, I don't know it.
It was short-lived, with Nancy Redmond ran it.
Yes, I remember
Nancy Redmond.
Did
And
she
it
wear
had-
the
yeah.
Bougie,
tuxedo?
bougie,
Right,
bougie,
right.
bougie, bougie.
And we did it, and somebody came to see us, and there was review. They reviewed me, Bill Maher, Barry, and one other comic. And
Back then, people did reviews. You used to get reviewed here in these city clubs.
Watch for these young upcoming comics,
Right.
J.J. Ramirez, Bill Maher, Barry,
Right.
And he got to see that one thing, and he kind of shook his head because he had throat cancer because he smoked a lot, and so he kind of shook his head. And
Oh.
I thought, all right, this is.
He
this-
approved.
Yeah.
That's nice.
My mother got to see me once. Didn't understand the words, speak English.
Right.
She saw me at the Rainy Night House in Queens.
She heard the
The
laughter.
Rainy Night
She
House.
heard the laughter.
That's
and
all that
so-
matters.
That's
Yeah,
what my
She's like, my son is funny.
Yeah.
my mother came once and my father came, but when my father saw me, he kept telling me how much funnier Mike, who's the guy who gambles all the time? Mike, you know who I'm talking about. The
Mike
skinny-
Reynolds.
Mike Reynolds.
Yeah.
Mike Reynolds was on the show. He goes, I go, Dad, what'd you think? Because he's not saying anything. It's like he doesn't say one word in the
Right,
car
right.
driving me back. And he was, for some reason, he was not with my mother. He was just him. Because he was on the road. He was in
Right.
Rochester with his job. And like you would think he would go, hey, good job. Even if he doesn't think it's a good job, you can't fucking say good. So he's saying nothing. I go, well, and I just bit the bullet. What do you think? He goes, I thought that other guy was really funny. He goes, you know what you need to do?
Oh, my God.
It's terrible. He goes, you know what you need to do? He goes, you need some jokes like he has, like jokes about airplanes and dogs, because he was doing.
Right.
He goes, that's what people can relate to. Back then, I was doing props, and I had an S&M mask that I
remember
put
that.
on my head. My father didn't even know what the fuck the S&M mask was,
Right.
and everything else. And like,
Oh, he knew what it was.
maybe he did know what it was. Maybe that's why he didn't think
Last
it was,
time I
none
saw
of this
Mike
shit was
Reynolds
funny.
was in Vegas when I worked at the Riviera.
Is he
and-
still gambling?
Oh, he still. Well, he became one of the car dealers. He got a job in Vegas. He
Oh,
do
that's-
comedy on the side.
Oh my God, is
Yeah.
that a good job for a gambler to have?
Well, he
I think
he
he should-
survived.
I have a great story with you. We
What?
were doing Danger.
What were you just saying before when I interrupted you? Your father,
I don't know.
Rainy Night House, and
He just didn't like her comedy.
He wasn't the but he was a smoker and a drinker, and he
Right,
did all
and
that
my
stuff.
My father had the machine, and when I saw this one comic years later, do a funny bit about the machine.
Oh, yeah,
I wanted to do that years ago, and my sister said, "Don't do that. It's not." And I said, "Well, because everybody would call to the house, they think I had a robot." Yeah. And, Jay, do you have a robot in your house? Because somebody answers the phone like it's my father speaking with the machine,
Oh,
Yeah.
And every time he'd break it, he'd get upset and break it. And here's the story: he'd get upset and break the game machine. There was only one place that you could take it to, was on the 30th floor of the Twin Towers.
What, the machine, the answering machine?
No, the machine that he used.
Oh, that he put in his neck. Oh, okay.
And he would break it all the time, and I'd have to go to the Twin Towers.
On purpose
30th.
he'd break it?
Well, you get pissed, nobody understood him, and he get, his anger, Latin.
Oh, yeah.
So I take the thing, and they knew me after a while. I go up to the 30th floor of the World Trade Center,
Right.
put it in the box, and the girl would just go, "Your father again?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm sorry." I go, "Take the other one, blah, blah, blah." That's it. I'd sign it, take it back before you can have a new machine. And that's why when those buildings went down, it brought a lot of memories, because I used to go up there, get that machine for my
For your
father,
dad.
and then I take a trip up to the restaurant upstairs and just see the whole, So it was I was there the night before those buildings went down, hanging out my place, Arturo's in the city, and you're looking up at the buildings, not thinking anything, getting in the car. Oh, who knew that'd be the last time I see
Oh, yeah,
those
that's what your
buildings.
T-shirt had on it. Arturo's that I put up on the Facebook picture.
Yeah, and that's
Oh,
my
that's so
place,
weird.
and I still hang out there. And I'm getting into my car, and I'm looking at it because you can see them clearly
Right.
from downtown. And who knew that would be the last time I'd see those buildings?
That's so
And it's
fucking
just
weird.
nothing you'd even think about,
Yeah.
But I was saying, I'm
But
sorry, you were
Carrie
saying.
lucked out with fathers. Your father was like,
85.
loved you, never did anything, never hit you, never. Carrie fucking,
Don't wanna
you
switch.
got caught going, like skipping school, doing everything. He'd come in, he never punished you.
My mother was the mean one.
See, my mother would hit us once in a while like that, but my father, my father,
Belt?
my
He
mother,
took the belt?
I got a bad thing on the report card, and he took the
Just for a report card?
plug out of the TV, and with the prongs started whipping my back. My
JJ,
my
that's
mother-
abusive.
Well, my
Did
mother,
your mother stop it?
my mother was too small. My mother had to call my uncle, his brother, who came from the Bronx in like 30 minutes.
So for
to
30
come in-
minutes you're getting beaten?
Well, but that's the way it was, And
That's
my
very Latin.
My father would come downstairs, and I did something wrong. He'd beat me in front of my friends. But
JJ,
the
that's
listen to me.
terrible.
But the next week, one of the guys that I grew up in the projects, he'd do something. His father would come down and beat him. So they'd laugh at me, we'd laugh at him. Another guy's father, same father came down, would be. That's the way the fathers were. You wanted
they
to
didn't
teach you
know any
discipline.
better. That's how they got their ass
That's
kicked.
how.
So
That's
you
my
grew
father
up,
learned.
So
That's
you grew up in the projects. Where were the projects? Where in New
one of the
York?
worst in East New York. Still,
One of the worst? Where?
Brooklyn. The three
East
worst
New
places
York.
has always been East New York, Bed-Stuy, and Brownsville. Now Brownsville and Bed-Stuy and some of these other
Brownsville, you
yuppie
say?
now. They're yuppies.
again, yuppie, gentrified.
Okay.
The one place that's not giving it up, those cowboys, is East New York.
And
Every
where,
time you
what do
see
you mean
something
by East
like
New York? Where?
East
Where?
New York, Brooklyn. It's
oh,
a neighborhood.
Brooklyn.
Right.
Oh, that's the name of it, East,
Then
New
East
York.
New York, yeah. Not West New York, New Jersey, East New York,
So
Brooklyn.
did you guys have guns and stuff when you were kids?
No. Back then it was just, this was, the 60s, 70s. And everybody, their father would all beat us in front of everybody. That's all the father did. They disciplined us in front of your friends so you can learn a lesson.
That's so
and,
humiliating.
and it's just, today.
It's very emasculating, too.
Today they'll all be arrested. But back then, that's the way you learned.
Yep.
And the only person I ever feared, the only man I ever feared on this planet was my father. It's the only one.
So other kids, did you have fights, fist fights and
Of
stuff?
course.
Yeah,
Of
it was
course.
East New York. You had the
So
bit
East
of
New York,
the survival
every
of
time
the
you
fittest.
hear, just now, people got shot. 2 people got shot in Brooklyn. East New York. They're just not giving that. And I live real close. I'm in Howard Beach now, literally.
You live in Howard Beach now?
for 30 years.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm literally 5 minutes away by car, and I go by my old building. It's all, windows are blown out, and this and that.
Oh, my God.
It's
so
like
you grew
Beirut.
up poor? You had no money when you guys
No.
were little? What'd your dad do?
My father was a plumber. He was an electrician.
Oh, okay.
He came in partners with his boss, and they owned a club, dancing club, where they played pool. I learned how to shoot pool when I was very young, and it was on the Saturday they'd have dancing and music. People would, and he was part of that. My father's name was Nieves, so everybody called
What
him
was it?
Snow.
What's his first name?
Nieves, which means
Nieves?
means snow in
Nieves.
like when you hear some Spanish people, "Está nevando," hay nieve. That means it's snow. Nieve is snow.
What kind of a crazy
Snow
name
was
is
coming
that?
down.
But
Snow.
that's his name, Nieves. Like the comedian
Nieves.
Eric Nieves.
Oh, okay, I
all
don't
right,
know, but-
that's actually Eric Snow, Eric Nieves. So everybody, his friends, the American friends, would call him Snow.
Oh, okay.
Snow, because his name was Nieves.
And he had a lot of blow.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
No.
kidding.
But
Did you do
It sounded
drugs?
good.
Did you do drugs growing up, or you were too
No,
afraid your father
no,
would
I
beat
never
the
did
shit out of
drugs.
you?
Never.
What about alcohol?
I was too much into sports. No.
He's drinking right now. No, I'm just kidding.
And-
That was
You drink
a co-
alcohol?
That's a Diet Coke now at
I
his
didn't,
age.
I didn't start drinking alcohol till I was in my mid-30s.
I didn't drink till I was in my mid-20s, and then I stopped.
Yeah.
And then I did it again when my kids were teenagers, when I met Kevin.
And then you haven't stopped.
And then, no, then I had to stop.
I drank when I was like 12 till I was 27, and that was it. It was over.
Well,
27.
my-
I quit.
12?
Yeah, I was.
Where are you getting booze at 12?
Come on, Patty.
At the
Where?
bar. They own the bar, for Christ's sake.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So
By
you,
the way, Brian Plater wants to know if you still have that S&M mask.
Now, I don't know what I did with that. Could I have sold it?
Anyway, Judy Cinciano is upset that we're not reading her tweets.
Oh,
What
Judy,
okay,
my
let's
old
read
girl,
one of her
Judy
tweets.
Cinciano.
Where-
So, she said something to you earlier.
What the fuck did
And
she
I
say?
interrupted
Hold
you.
on.
I'm sorry. You said you were doing a gig with me.
I got to tell you that story.
Hello, Danny Cohen is watching. Greg
she said you
DiFilippo.
cut your hair, and she loves it.
Who did?
Now you can see your penis, she said.
Who
Who's
said
this?
that?
Judy
Judy
Cinciano.
Cinciano. That she can
Yeah,
see
if
his
anybody didn't
penis.
know, my hair was really long up until 5 months ago.
Did you ever bang her?
Huh?
Did you ever bang Judy?
No, we came close, and I, you know what? We were laughing, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen.
Because she
But
was a little hot tamale
She was like
back
she
in
was.
the
She
day.
was very hot. But we were like brother and sister. It's
She
just-
knew how to move, too. She could do all those stripper
Dance.
moves
Well, yeah,
and
she
dancing.
could dance, but we were just too friendly. We just started laughing, and it just never
Did
happened.
you
It
ever
was probably a
have?
good thing.
Did you ever date a comic?
A few, yeah.
Okay. we won't-
Carrie wants names.
Well, I'd rather not.
Patty really wants me.
I know, I'm putting it on Carrie.
I'm going to tell him a quick story.
Go ahead.
We used to do the Dangerfields prom shows. They were.
Oh, my
they
God.
were
Those
We're making money
brutal.
then. We can make
Brutal.
money then.
But
Yeah,
you
but-
could do because you would have 2 shows on a Friday, and then sometimes wouldn't they have
Two
2 prom
proms.
shows
Yeah.
after that? So you'd be
One at
making money
one,
for
And
4
he was
one
shows.
at
paying, and he was
three.
paying money then, and then you can work it around the city. So for June, I come out of June making $5,000-$6,000 just from Dangerfields
You
alone.
are crazy because you will do like 6 shows in a night on a
No.
weekend.
Back then, I would do 5-6 shows on a Wednesday and Thursday. Then I do 8, 9, 10 shows on a Saturday and Sunday. So between Wednesday and Saturday, I do like 25 to 30
But
shows.
here's the crazy part: if you get caught in traffic, you're fucked.
Don't get caught in traffic.
Yeah, well, nobody got
It's
caught in
just- it's
traffic,
just-
Patty.
I did it for years, and you make good money staying in the city, but you had to hustle.
So what?
Yeah,
what
and now if I do 4 or 5 on a weekend, people, well, that's a lot. That's nothing compared to what I used to
Nothing back then.
Nothing.
They used
I know.
to. I remember
do.
Jim
Five-
Norton.
if you did 5 shows back then, oh man, I had a bad weekend.
Bad weekend.
I
a bad
did
weekend.
6 one night, and I remember by the 6th show, somebody said something like an asshole in the audience. And I just fucking snapped. And I know, like, normally I would have been able to handle it, but I was like, go fuck yourself. But you're so tired by the 6th show.
Fuck you. God bless America. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm not leaving. God bless America. Good night.
That's,
All right,
that's
now
JJ's
let me
impression
tell
of
the
me.
story,
Yes, please tell the
fuckheads.
story.
I can't believe
prom-
it's like this.
Wow, is that any way to talk to a guest, Carrie?
I can't
Patty.
believe these 2 twats are talking this way, for Christ's sakes.
I'm watching JJ on stage. He's doing whatever he's
This is
doing.
at Dangerfields.
Yeah, and he's doing his thing, whatever. And all of a sudden, he gets into an argument with this kid, and
A
he's
boy?
Oh,
Yeah.
that big guy.
And he goes, "Your
Oh.
mother's this." He's going, "Your mother's this." Your
And I
mother's
said
this,
to the
your
kid,
mother's-"
listen, everybody was having a bad show up to that point. I was the only one having a good show, and I said, I got 5 more minutes, dude. Let me get off
Hold
stage.
on, let me finish.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Then the kid says something to JJ. He goes, "Your mother's so whatever, whatever." And he goes, "Nobody talks about my mother." Slams the mic. Do you remember this?
Yeah,
and
I
you
flew
dove
over
on
the
the
table.
kid. I was like, "Oh my god!"
I punched
JJ
I punched him in the
beat
face.
the shit out of a 15.
No, no.
16-year-old.
I punched the kid in the face. Then the kid gets up, and he keeps getting up. The kid was like
he
6'3",
strong?
big, thick kid. And I'm thinking, all right, if this kid hits me, I'm out because this kid. But
And he was only 16.
He was 18, but he was
18, he
bleeding.
says.
So now he's coming
He
out.
beat the crap out of a little
No,
kid.
no. The kid was 6'3", like nearly 200 pounds. And I'm thinking, this
Hey,
kid's
Ola,
gonna. I'm
I'm
thinking this
telling
kid's gonna
everyone-
kill me. So he goes out. He wants to call the police, and I said, the way I got out of it was like, yeah, you go ahead. You call the police in front of your friends. You call the police, you big son of a bitch. You tell them how this little old guy got up there and punched you in the face.
You have no
so your
idea.
friends
I would've
can
loved
make
to have
fun of
seen
you.
that.
And he got so embarrassed by that he just, But I had to talk him out.
I
of it.
was dying. I was like, you
Never
guys
again.
might want to. There's a riot in there. JJ just jumped the kid. It was so fucking funny.
Oh
I'll
my
never
God.
I had
forget
5
that.
more. I said, I got 5 more. Let me get off stage. I got 5. Fuck you and your mother. Oh, you mother.
That's
And
right.
my
you
mother
would
had
let them
passed
say-
away not that long
of
ago,
course.
Yeah,
so
you
can't
threw the
say-
mic, and he goes, "Nobody talks about my mother." And but you were ripping this kid to shreds before that, and the crowd was loving it.
I hit him and he went down, but I
went
was glad
down.
because I didn't want him to hit me because he was a big kid.
Oh my God.
Big kid.
You know what? I'm surprised at because that was a while ago. That would have happened today.
Oh, I'd be in prison.
You would have been arrested. The
Yeah.
club would have been sued for millions.
Right.
Back then, no one called
Nobody
up.
gives a
like,
shit.
Nobody
And
cares.
like I
That's
said,
right.
I
you
talked
got
him
your
out
ass
of it.
kicked. You got your ass
People
kicked.
I
threw
talked-
No, but
bottles.
if he would have told his
Right.
mother.
But I talked him out of it. I said, you go ahead and tell the cops how this little old guy kicked your ass, 6'2". Tell you in front of your friends how you got your ass kicked, and I got to him.
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
said, let me forget this, and you know.
Dangerfields has had some very big fights, like where it gets ugly, and you see Vinny like pushing him outside to get him out on the street, and they were like fist fights. People had crazy fights.
Somebody threw to get at Joe Vega. They threw something through the window.
At Joe Vega?
Yeah, years ago.
Wait, in Dangerfield?
Dangerfield.
Wait, they broke the window?
They broke the window because they saw him in the window. They threw something at him.
Well, what the hell with Joe Vega's
Well,
like
it
the
doesn't
nicest
matter.
guy in the
Yeah,
world?
but, you know, like Joey got a temper. You know, he's the
He
sweetest
does?
guy in the world, but if you push him too far,
I never
like
saw
anybody
his
else.
temper.
Oh, I've
Wait,
seen it.
Judy Cianciato says
Cinciato.
whatever.
Judy, baby.
He is full of shit, brother and sisters.
How's he full of
was
shit?
rubbing my twat with his legs.
Wait,
Two.
I can't believe Judy's saying this.
Judy!
Mostly ago. I don't know, months ago.
Wait a minute.
Asshole.
Months ago. What do you mean?
I don't know what she's saying.
Mostly ago. Two mostly ago?
What?
Okay,
Tell
she doesn't.
him I'm going to kick his ass.
3 months ago
Oh.
at the comic strip.
3 months ago, you were.
Oh, yeah, but that's rubbing. That's nothing.
We did it in the hot tub, she said.
Yeah, no.
He's a liar. Call him on it. We did it 2 times with me. She's saying when she and Bob broke up. I
Wait
like
a
that she
minute. Her
throws-
and Bob broke up 2 months ago? Judy.
You fucked in a hot tub while she and her
a
husband
liar.
were on a
This is
break.
Mount
You
Terry Lodge.
banged Judy.
No.
Look,
no,
she
no.
doesn't want you
she's
to
not
act
lying.
like. Look, he's trying to be a gentleman by saying, "Oh
Okay.
yeah, we never actually did it." She's like, "Yes,
Yes,
he
we
did
did.
fuck me."
He's a fucking liar.
My husband and I were.
I
on
remember
a
it didn't
break.
go very well. I remember that.
What do you mean it didn't go
It
well?
didn't go because she was like my sister. It just didn't go very well. You know?
Go
Right,
very
you didn't
well?
like her like that.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
you
I thought
think you might have,
Yeah,
and
you
then
you
it
thought you
happened.
might have, and then you realize this is Judy. You
No,
know,
right.
it's Judy, and I love her too much like that. You know, so it wasn't great.
Okay, so we did clear that up at least,
Right.
okay, Judy? So he banged you in a hot
what
tub twice.
But what a body! Ooh, what a body!
She has a great body, right?
She
Yeah.
back then.
Had.
I think she still has a
No,
good
she's
body.
in great shape. But I'm saying back then.
And talk about the legs.
Judy
you like
and
the
I
legs?
had.
Oh,
She's
she
got
had-
She
real
was a
muscular legs.
dancer.
She had
She
great
had a
legs.
great body. She
Great
was a
legs.
dancer.
Yeah, she was a
We
dancer.
all
She-
had good bodies.
Well, you, Carrie was a.
Carrie had
Not
the,
anymore.
Carrie had the abs.
Carrie,
You're still
Carrie would
sexy,
walk
Carrie.
in. Everybody like, who the fuck? I'm
I
like,
know. I know.
She said it went great. He came 2 times.
Yeah, that I did.
What the hell? Who's
What
telling?
is going on here with this
He's
story?
lying.
Okay, is there anyone else who
No,
who JJ fucked who'd like to share?
Come on, we ain't got all night here. Come on.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
She's funny.
Ah,
You're funny, Judy.
what does Jesus got do lucky mean? What the fuck is she saying? It went great.
The dude got lucky.
Oh, the dude. She keeps calling you a liar. Somehow I picture Judy Cinciano at home drinking wine right now and getting drunk while she's saying
Wait, is she in California? Where's she at?
She's in California.
She's in California?
Yeah,
I thought she's doing a one-woman show or something. Maybe that's in
Funny
California.
lady. Funny. All you girls, funny.
Oh, my God. So tell the story about my ex-husband and you, because I said you have the same comic strip shirt that my ex-husband has because you were on the baseball team.
Eric.
Yeah,
Eric. I'm hanging out in the village, and I happen to run into.
Why are you hanging out in the West Village?
Well, it's because Arturo's was there. That's,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah, okay.
walking around. I used
All
to
right.
watch the basketball games on Third. You know that I still do. So I'm hanging. We're just hanging. And I hear somebody, JJ, and it's Eric, and we just happen to we're wearing the same leather jacket, motorcycle jacket.
Black leather.
Black leather.
That was big back in the 80s.
It was.
Everyone
it was.
had one,
Everybody
yeah.
had one. So I had mine. He said.
I had mine.
he
I
got
had one, too.
a motorcycle jacket, and he goes, Jay, listen, man, I'm going to CBS. You want to hang out? Yeah, I'll hang. Let's hang. So we're walking around, we're talking, and out of the blue, he says to me, boy, I hope I don't think we're lovers because we're wearing the same jacket. And I look at him like, he caught me off guard with the remark. I'm like, the fuck are you
Why would
talking
you
about?
say that?
Why would that even
Why
come
would
up?
that-
Because I had no idea. Why would that even
No
come
one
up?
had
What-
an idea.
What,
I didn't have the
and
idea
and I
either.
said to him, what are you talking about? Why would anybody think we're lovers? Do I look like... He goes, no, because we're wearing the same jacket. Who gives a shit? Everybody's wearing the same jacket. And I looked at him like, what the...
We were dating.
You were
then.
dating, and they would have all these Christmas. They would do all these Christmas shows at the Strip.
Oh, me and Eric.
And you and Eric, and you would put on some of the best shows. You know, they would have the Christmas.
It was like a roast. It was a roast for everyone
And
in the
then one day
audience.
they decided to do the best-looking girlfriend of, have a contest. Who's got the best-looking girlfriend? What
yeah.
comic? And I was dating Michelle then. You know
Oh, yeah,
Michelle.
she's beautiful.
And she was gorgeous. And so you guys went like 5 minutes. You mentioned a few girls, and then finally Eric goes, "Oh fuck this! You know it's JJ's girlfriend. That's just
Yeah, she was
bullshit."
definitely the hottest.
Ah.
And that
You
night,
really liked her too because you were like, "Hey, don't say anything about me fucking a lot of women."
Different.
Because like we used to just roast everybody. Like we'd call people like man whores or what, whoever. We used to have one that was the comic going nowhere fast, and we'd have people in the running, and then we'd pick the winner, and people would get really fucking mad at us. But JJ's like, "Look, I'm gonna have Michelle with to me tonight. He goes, "Don't say anything about me fucking a lot
How
of
many women would you say? Like in the thousands?
Do you count? You have a number.
No.
You don't have a number?
You can't
But
remember all of them.
I'll tell you another Christmas thing that happened when I was on that train crash. Remember?
Train crash.
That train crash that crashed from D.C. into Baltimore.
I didn't know there was a train crash and you were
yes,
on a
you
train
did, because
crash.
you got derailed. And Jeannie had me do a thing here, and they called me a hero because I pulled a few women out of the chairs. 7 people died on that thing.
Oh.
Wait a
I was
minute, why
working
am
with
I
Dia.
not remembering this?
This was like
Well, really,
89
Patty?
or
Because I'm
something.
so fucking senile.
Yeah, and
And
I
you saved
I
people's lives?
I moved from the second car because these kids came on at one of the stops, and they were so loud. I said, I can't.
Right,
So I moved to like the 5th or 6th car,
right.
which is probably a good thing. And all of a sudden, we hit this patch. The train tilts. The top of the train opens like a can of sardines, and dirt comes down our necks. And I grabbed the woman next to me, and I brace it. And then it just crashed. We just tipped over, and I'm pulling people out.
Were they
and
dead, Pete? You were
no,
pulling dead
no,
out?
I'm pulling
Oh.
women, heavy-set black women that were stuck, and so I'm pulling them out and getting
What
them
do
out.
you mean they're stuck?
They were stuck because the chairs came out and they were stuck. They couldn't get out, and the train was,
Oh, wow.
So I pulled them out, and they made
Why?
they made a big hero thing out of it.
Was it gonna explode? The
Well,
train?
let's put it this way: we were like maybe a few minutes from the bridge that goes over the water.
Oh,
that,
my God.
That train goes over the water. None of us.
Then
are
at that
I don't
point,
care if you're the greatest swimmer
you're
in the world.
swimming.
I don't
Fuck
care-
the black women.
No, you're going down in that train. You're not getting
Fuck
out
the fat
to swim.
women. There's no.
So, yeah, I think the youngest person that died was like 7 years old.
Oh,
Oh,
my
God,
God,
that's
that's
the oldest person
terrible.
was 80.
You know,
But
everybody will help until
They
they're
know
like,
they're going down.
right. They're like, nah.
But the
My
point-
husband will be like, okay, yeah,
You're good.
take care.
But let me. If that train goes down with that weight, no one's getting out of that train.
No, it's going on.
But
well,
we were
it
lucky.
might float.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'd hit the water so hard
that
and-
train, that train ain't floating. That's too much weight. So anyway, at the Christmas party,
You're on the slam
you
track.
do
What
a
were we
skit on it.
doing?
You
We
do
did a skit on
you
people
did a,
dying?
You did a skit on a woman that I saved because they had a whole thing in the paper. That I
even
they
fucking
had
remember
I have
this.
the paper in my local paper,
Okay.
local hero, and all that.
Right.
I still have it. And they did a thing here at the strip. Jeannie arranged it so that I hope whatever. Much more than it was right. But you did a skit where you were in bandages, and you were saying, "Yeah, he helped me out of the train. Yes, he helped me out of the train, and he pulled me out." And then he started touching me. He started hysterical,
That's funny.
hysterical.
I don't even fucking
Yeah,
remember. It
you were
was-
dressed in bandages.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
that's
one
so
of the women
funny.
that JJ saved. He pulled me out.
And then he
How
and
many
he
women
saved
did
me,
you save?
And then he
Fingered
started
me.
touching me and feeling me up. And she's got these bandages all over.
Let me ask you,
Hysterical.
how many women did you save? Was it all black women, white women?
It was like 5 or 6
Spanish
women. I like it was.
What about
them
the men? You didn't give a fuck about
Yeah,
them?
well, I didn't see any men. The men pulled themselves out. These women were just
See, he
stuck.
was the only one that stayed. That's a true
That
lover
is
of
good.
women.
That is good. That is.
Well, it's just.
thought he had a
He
shot.
helped women.
He thought he had a shot with
But
them.
Got a hand job on the way out.
well, that's what she go. Yeah, and he touched me and he pulled me out and she's been drinking, and then he started kissing me. And it was,
Now, whatever happened to Michelle, the pretty one? I felt like that was the one you would have married. What
that's
happened to
probably
her?
the one I should have. My mother loved her.
Now, what happened to her?
Everybody
Well,
loved her.
Would she?
Well, I was seeing.
Did she leave you, or
She-
you left
she-
her?
you cheated on her.
Yeah, she was 18 when I met her. I was seeing this 17-year-old who worked at the Garvin's in
What's Garvin's?
Garvin's
Oh,
in
at
D.C.
yeah.
in D.C. And then
The
I had
comedy
this
club.
21-year-old girl that was Pollock in Grant
But you
Avenue
could
in
never
Brooklyn.
just. But I thought you were in love with that girl. You were in love
But
with
here's
her.
what I
she
wanna
wanted
ask
to get
you.
married. She was like, by the time she was 19, she wanted. I'm like, you want to marry me? So what's that? At 23, you want to get a divorce because you married too young? And
Let
she
me
would
ask
throw
you
it
a
back at me.
question.
Why don't you want to get me? What are you waiting for? Well, I'm a child.
What,
Yeah,
did
yeah.
your father? Was your father a guy
A
that ran
cheater. He
around?
must have been a cheater.
He did his thing, yeah.
He did. So it was because I was. But
Well,
they were married till the end, right?
Yeah. My mother.
But
that was
that's
his
how-
thing.
that's
But you
what
didn't know he cheated.
Yeah, you did.
Well, you did later, but
Did
yeah.
he bring you
Later.
with him when he
Huh?
was a kid? You know those. You'd always see those TV shows where the father brings the kid when he goes to visit the girlfriend, leaves the kid in the car.
No.
No, not like that. I
My,
feel like
my old man was a hard man, and he drank, and but he always kept a roof over our heads. He made sure you did something wrong. He disciplined you for it. If you got in trouble, he let you know.
Busted your legs.
You
but
know.
that's how people always talk about fathers who are rough. I don't know. Like I
Well,
feel
you
like
have to understand. It's easy to say that now in retrospect,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's just the way it was back then. I'll tell you another story. One time I'm on my bike. I used to take my bike and disappear. I go into Long Island from Brooklyn and just
how
go on,
old?
Wow.
I don't know, 11, 12 years old.
Yeah, back
11
then,
or
yeah,
12?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I would
yeah.
just go on treks, which is why to this day I can travel around the country by myself. It doesn't bother me. My friends wouldn't want to go anywhere. They want to stay in the project. So that's I want to go. I get on the train and explore, or I'd get on my bike and explore.
Right.
Anyway, I got hit by a bus. Bus hit me.
What?
Yeah, I got hit by a bus.
It's crazy
And the bus,
stories.
I landed on the floor. And the bus, I rolled over before the bus ran me over. Anyway, my father comes screeching from his job, where he comes, takes me to the hospital. And here's where my stupidity comes in.
No, you didn't get hurt.
No, I was bumps and bruises, but he gets me home. To make a long story short,
Beats the
again.
shit out of
Beats
you.
the shit out of you.
He gets me home, but just before he gets me home, and he's talking to me like, "You okay? Yeah, Pop, I'm good. You don't feel any pain? Yeah, a little scum, but I'm okay, Pop. I'm good. Thank you."
How about now?
And he goes, so you don't feel? He goes, no. He goes, Maria, get me the belt.
No.
If I had just kept my mouth shut or said, yeah, I don't
I'm
feel
in
good, Pop. I'm
pain.
in pain. But I was so stupid. I was so happy that he was worried about me. No, I'm good, Pop. I'm okay. I've got little bruises, but I'm good. Get me the belt. And
What
he just
the
laid
fuck
into me.
was that?
Can
Why
I
did
tell
they
you,
think-
my
Because I
mother?
shouldn't have been where I wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right. My mother, if I did something and got hurt,
Yeah.
she would beat the shit out of me for getting hurt. Like one time I brought my father, he was trying to cut a part of the carpet, and I saw him struggling. I was like 5 years old. I ran downstairs. I got the biggest scissors. She had these gigantic, and I was holding him like this, and I went to go bring him to him, and I fell, and it went in my head.
Oh.
So when I got up, I
That's
remember warm blood over my whole face. And
Carrie.
he looked at me, and he grabbed a towel, and he shoved it on my head, and he threw me in the car. Him and my uncle took me to the hospital. I remember them stitching my head. So all of a sudden, they didn't tell my mother, because she would have flipped out. So I was sitting on the couch with a lollipop that they gave me from the hospital. They said it would have, this much more would have hit my brain.
Oh my God.
So
And you have no scar.
I do have a scar. I have a big scar.
I'll tell you, very similar story. Go
Wait,
ahead.
so now I hear, I was upstairs. All of a sudden, she was downstairs. All of a sudden, I hear, I hear her coming up the steps. I'm like,
What the fuck?
I got a big patch over my.
This Carrie, this is
She
terrible.
grabs those scissors and she goes like this. You see this? She smashes them in my face. She goes,
No,
"Yeah,
she
I-"
doesn't.
No, well, she doesn't hit me with them, but she's got them up into my face, and I'm like,
Oh my God,
She's
Carrie.
like, you ever touch those again, I will stab you myself. And I was like, ah! And I'm hysterical crying,
Wow.
and my father pushed her off me because he was such a gentle man.
Oh.
And he's like, get away from her. And then I was like, I was leeched onto him like this. I was like, get her away.
But the
Carrie,
same thing
that
happened.
is so horrible.
I was born in the Bronx. I was there till I was about 5. My father, we were away from him for like a year because he had tuberculosis.
Wait, your father had tuberculosis?
My
So
father had that
we
too.
were sent,
My father's father had died of
we
tuberculosis.
were sent to a camp. We used to, a camp. Me and my brother wasn't born yet.
Okay.
And we had these, we'd call mamas, and we'd separate. And
What do you mean, mamas?
Mamas, the women that took care of you.
Oh,
And
oh.
you like tend to a bed, this and that,
Oh.
for a year. And I remember
For a year, you went.
Yeah,
Wait,
and-
you were sent from your home
yeah,
to the mamas.
Yeah, to get away from my father because we didn't want to get TB.
They were big mamas.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I remember the ground. Probably when you go back now, the grounds are nothing. But when you were a little kid, they looked like vast fields.
Where was this?
This was in Jersey somewhere.
Okay.
And I remember we'd go in the fields and I'd see these old the colonial yellow kind of things and we'd be in the
What do you
fields.
mean yellow things?
The paint, the colonial yellow. That's the way it was on the wood. I'd see tractors.
Oh,
Were you with your mother or just?
No, my mother was with my
It
father.
must have been so sad
Yeah, we
to
were sent
be
away, the two
away
of us.
from your family.
And I would be with my sisters, and then we'd be separated. And I remember if
Kind of like what's happening now.
you wouldn't
Wait, what's
finish your
happening now?
food, you couldn't get your milk, and I'd be thirsty. And you had to finish. I remember I was eating
I
beans, those
used
green
to.
beans, and I'd spit them out, and they'd smack me. And
This is
oh,
horrible.
yeah, and then you
This
get
is
your,
like a Dickens novel.
and
Your
they
fucking
come
life.
at Christmas time.
No wonder you don't have a wife.
At Christmas time, they come with a Santa Claus. I remember one time they had a big guy in a bunny suit for Easter, and all the kids were scared, and I was just sitting there laughing at him. You're little, so the guy's probably, maybe my height, but
Right,
he's wearing a bunny suit.
Your
I hope
height.
the bunny didn't beat you.
No, but in the Bronx, I remember we were going somewhere, and my father got into an accident in the car. Same thing. I'm bleeding from my head. My mother, I remember screaming from the window, screaming. We took me to the hospital. Patch, I still got the scar, and I remember they wanted to put me in the same color car coming home, and I wouldn't get in the car. Because I remember the white car is where I got the accident, and they had to force me
Scared you.
into the white
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
I just got hurt from this car. I don't want to get into this car. This was the Bronx, and I remember. And I remember the lights coming on through the blinds in the old Bronx apartment, and I'd see figures, and they would scare me when you were a kid,
Right.
And that's the only thing I remember at the Bronx. And then we went for a year into Jersey, separated till my father got well. And when we got to where we grew up in Brooklyn, the projects, there was a boy there. You know, it's like my two sisters and I, we had a brother.
Wow.
Wait, so while
Oh,
your
so
father,
she was pregnant.
Yeah.
So
Now,
while your father
she
had
never,
TB,
Your mother didn't have TB?
No.
She didn't catch it from
No,
him?
no.
And then the baby
and the
was
baby
safe.
didn't have TB.
No.
That's great.
Maybe they were just trying to get rid of you two for a while.
Whatever, you know, but.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
So-
It was something when I think back now, it's very nostalgic for me because I remember.
But that's so sad to miss your mother and father like that
Well,
as a
but
little
when
kid.
you're that young, you know, it's like you're young, you know, so you adapt, I think, a little quicker,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
because
yeah.
you don't have time to think about it. Of course, we missed, and my father they would come and visit. He was getting better, and he had this great old Chevy Malibu convertible, and it had pictures on it. Me and my two sisters in the back, they took pictures. Then they'd have to go away again. We'd cry, don't leave.
Oh my
you know.
God.
But
Somebody wrote, you just need a plane crash.
I know.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Please,
For your
please,
tragedy.
I'm just flying off. I don't.
You'll
need
be opening the door for people, letting us out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Judy Cinciano won't
Judy,
stop.
go to bed for
She
Christ's
goes,
sakes.
I'm sorry. She goes, I'm sorry I'm hogging up the lines. Tell JJ, this is bad. She goes, tell JJ, I didn't come that night.
Oh.
I'm waiting. He's a pig.
Oh, she's waiting.
But a good pig. She's calling you a pig.
Well, that's about
Last thing she says. Okay, should we even read this?
Don't
Wait
read
a
the
minute.
last one. It's stupid.
He asked me to. I don't know.
To be a steady. You wanted to go steady with her?
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, so that
Well, now it's
maybe he
getting-
was just trying to do it to get in your pants. She said she's sober, by the way. I accused her of being
Drunk.
drunk. She says she's masturbating right now. Okay, so I think Judy is drunk tonight.
Either that or has fallen off the deep end.
Judy.
Something happened.
She used to date
Glenn Farrington,
Farrington back in the day.
who had blue eyes. He was black, but he had blue eyes.
I don't remember him being black. I
know everybody says that, but
remember him black.
he's half black.
Did he? I don't
He's
remember
Obama black.
that. Yeah, I don't remember that.
He's got the kinky hair.
Yeah. But,
Speaking of hair, did we talk about
Everybody
that? We
has
like
kinky
your
hair
we
down
like.
there.
I have kinky hair actually. We like your short hair, by the way, and
Yeah,
now
but-
it's even
Yeah,
shorter.
you had that long hair for such a long time with the
3
stupid
years,
ponytail.
3.5 years. But my sisters
Now you look
hated it.
normal.
I kept it a year longer just to piss my sisters off because they would just cut that shit off.
Did they say that to you?
Well, I was seeing a girl and
She
my hair
liked
was
it.
longer. I said, "Yeah, can you let it grow?" I said, "I don't think so. I don't think it'll grow anymore." And sure
I
enough,
thought it was hair extensions
I
when
know,
you first
yeah,
saw
She was
it.
everybody-
talking about your hair. You were talking about your penis.
I said, that definitely ain't growing anymore. Says it got really long, and then, you know, after we broke up, the hair, I said, well, let me keep this. You know, I haven't had this in a while.
No.
And
There's
I kind
something.
of liked it. I liked
no,
it because
there's
it just
something
brought back the
about
hippie days.
Long hair on a man who's not 20 years old.
Yeah.
It's
Well, no,
just
but
not
see,
a good
when you
look.
watch these
Tom
old,
and Jenyo.
when you
Tell
watch
you-
these old rock guys, these old rock and roll guys, they all still got long hair.
And
Yeah,
it
but
looks
wait a
The
minute.
old
bad.
motorcycle
Hold on
guys,
a second.
the old
No.
motorcycle guys, the Hells Angels, they all got long hair.
Steven Tyler looks good in his long
You
hair.
know what, I
because
And
just-
he's
got,
70.
Can
but,
I just
but
say,
he's got stylist and gel.
Yeah,
and
he's got
it's not
makeup.
here's the
skanky.
thing about Steven. I just watched American
I love Steven
Pickers.
Tyler. Watch yourself.
I just watched American Pickers last night, and they had the van that was from the band, and they
Right.
had it whatever. So all those guys were on it, and I'm looking at all of them, and I thought, if all of them would just cut their fucking... They've all got the dyed bleach black with the
Right.
white fucking and the feathers and bullshit. Just cut your hair off. They got handsome faces, these guys.
Bon Jovi cut his hair off.
Looks beautiful.
He
He's
does?
got a good... I always like a man...
Well, he had to cut it because he became an actor, too, so he was doing
And
a
you
lot.
know who should cut his hair? Every time I see him, I think, will you cut your fucking hair? Is who's the guy on the radio? Howard Stern.
Oh,
He's
Howard,
got that fucking
Well,
black
no,
curly.
he
needs
is
to
not
cut
a
his
handsome
hair.
man. If you'll see how long his face is, that he needs that hair. Trust me.
I think without that hair,
No,
just his hair
He
brushed
looked
back.
like a horse.
But I think that would be better than what he looks now. He looks
I
like
think
a
you're right.
Well, my hair, and you know, by the time I cut it, it was really long because I forgot even paying attention to it. And I thought, all right, it's time. I had it for like 3.5 years. But
yeah. I even
but
said to you, I
liked
go,
it.
JJ, you're a handsome man. Cut that fucking hair off.
Patty with the cheeks. You got the cheekbones. Show the cheekbones.
That's what I said.
But you
I was
always had it in a
begging you.
ponytail.
yeah.
So
Well, not
was
always. Yeah, but you know.
It was like I don't know. It just
I just didn't think it can grow that long anymore, and I was quite surprised. Like, shit, this can still grow. You know.
wow.
I'd rather have, and it doesn't get really gray. You know, I get gray here.
Yeah.
and the goatee, but my hair, for some reason, and I don't mind. I don't mind a head full of gray hair as long as it's there. I don't
You
give a
wouldn't
shit.
dye if
No,
you're.
never.
No, he's got very little.
What about when you started comedy? Okay, so you're from the projects. I don't even know how much time we've been doing. Adam, how long?
Yeah,
Just
we
so I
have
know.
so much fun. We just
Like an hour 5.
Oh, we are? Oh, geez. Okay. So we have to wrap up soon. So in the projects, you're young. You got to. So what makes you say, I'm going to be a stand-up comic? Like, that doesn't seem like something where you would make a lot of money. Although back in the day,
Well, it's funny
everyone
because
got
I was very shy
sitcoms.
back then too. I mean, loud with my friends, but with people and family, I wasn't very loud. And but in school it started like always, And
What, you were funny in school?
In school, you're funny, you make your friends laugh. But I discovered when I used to make the teachers laugh. And the friends, I had one black friend of mine, I forget, David something. He would just laugh at anything. I would laugh because he would laugh. He would.
Yeah.
I would do anything to make him laugh because he had this great infectious laugh, and he just wouldn't. And he starts laughing, and I'm laughing because I don't know what the hell I did.
Right.
But then you discover the teachers start laughing. When the teachers don't get too mad at you because they're laughing. They're shaking their heads but they're laughing.
Right.
And I thought, ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
So you were the class clown.
Yeah, like everybody. Nothing new.
And when did you
Nothing
start? Did you start here at the comic strip? When did you first start?
No, Good Times on
Oh,
31st.
Good Times.
and
That's where I met my ex-husband at
Right.
Good Times.
Good
That's where a lot of
Times,
people
and I
start.
remember they had a
Good
girl
face.
serving tables and singing on the side. by
Sexy, and you liked
no,
her?
No, but by the name of
Who?
the famous singer. She came up to the catch.
Pat Benatar.
Pat Benatar.
Oh, yeah,
was
she
singing
did
there.
she used to
And
sing at
also,
Catch.
there was a guy behind me who smelled a little bit. He tried to do comedy.
Smelled?
Yeah.
Oh,
he
I know
tried
who
to
that
do
is.
comedy, and it was Ron Jeremy.
Why did he
Ew.
smell?
Right.
He probably had just had sex with a
Who knows?
porn
But you
star.
know what? He was
Well,
trying
he
to
smelled like a
Judy.
bad
He would come up and do
vagina.
his time, and you discover
Had
later.
sex with Judy.
Dude, if you had a 13-inch rod, what the hell are you doing comedy for? But every time
I
you see
remember
him,
when he
whenever
did
he'd
comedy.
do porn films, he tried to be the funny guy. He always tried because
Because he wasn't attractive.
right. He tried to be but.
Because he's competing with
but
all
he
the
would-
other
but he
porn
would do
guys who are
stand up
great
with
looking.
us, and it was Benatar and Ron Jeremy, and I was,
Was he funny on any level?
Not really.
Was he nice? Did you hang out
Yeah,
with
he was cool.
Did he
I didn't
always
hang out with him.
smell?
Not smell. It's just I don't want to say stank. It's just there was
But he
there was,
stank.
It was an odor.
But you know what's so weird about that? That means that when he did porn films, those poor girls probably had to have a stanky guy on
Oh,
top
yeah,
of them.
yeah.
gross,
Well.
gross. Well,
That is-
you know what? Money's money. You got to make
Yeah,
money.
yeah. Well.
I like the way Carrie looks at things.
And
It's
I
always
I
through that
remember, I
window.
remember coming up to Catch, auditioning for Catch, when you start moving up to the bigger clubs, and the Catch owner at the time, who became Pat
Rick,
Benatar.
Rick,
Rick.
why can't we think of his name?
It starts with a W.
Rick,
No, Rick M.
Rick,
Rick Casasis. Rick
Anyway, he
Masasis.
started. He left his, to the people to
the
run
fuck
it
is his
because he
name?
started.
Someone might
He
know.
started managing Pat Benatar.
Oh,
But I
this
remember the
fucking
first
went
time he
off.
saw him, he goes, and he really liked me. And he goes, "You're going to be my new Freddie Prinze." He would say that. Don't matter. What a great,
Really?
And of course, never, because he went off at Benatar, and that
And
was
dumped
that
you.
was, Yeah, dumped everybody. Rick Newman.
Newman.
Rick Newman.
Rick Newman. That's
Newman.
right.
It
and,
wasn't-
and he made
He was
a
There
lot.
was a
good-looking guy.
W, and there was an M in
Yeah.
it.
He was a
Rick-
good-looking man.
Rick
Yeah.
Newman, and he made a lot of money with Pat Benatar. And,
Yeah.
And so, but it was cool.
And so when was there a lot of competition with all the Latin guys? Like there were a bunch
Not
of you
really.
all the
not
same
really.
years.
When I met Joey Vega, was my best friend.
He's your best friend?
Yeah, Joey Vega. Of
I love
course.
Joe Vega.
Well, we talk every day. So
You do?
Yeah, for 30 years, for Christ's sakes.
You talk every
you
day.
do
how,
all
do
the
you, how
guys.
do you not know this?
You knew all the guys
didn't know
back
that.
then.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the what was his name? He died of he
Freddie
died-
Prinze.
Not Freddie
Not Freddie.
Prinze.
No.
You knew Rick Aviles.
Rick Aviles.
Oh yeah.
You knew
Charlie Barnett.
Charlie Barnett.
Charlie
you knew
Barnett.
all
I
those
used
And
to-
who's the
I
other
used
guy
to-
who died
I,
of?
I got Charlie back into the strip here when he got off the drugs, and he tried to do a clean act, and I talked Richie into letting him in here.
And what happened?
Well, he didn't do well because he needed to be dirty,
Yeah, yeah.
but he
He
tried.
was so fucking funny.
He was really
and,
funny.
And
Great performer.
Became an actor, but you had to read the scripts to him because
And
he
I
couldn't
heard
read or
he
write.
couldn't read.
He was scheduled to be where Eddie Murphy was.
Yes,
Right,
He was
Saturday
scheduled on
Night Live.
Saturday Night Live, but he couldn't read the scripts. So he was out.
How
and
lucky
Eddie,
for that for Eddie.
Eddie
know.
backed into, and I'm not saying Eddie wouldn't have been famous anyway.
Right.
But Eddie kind of backed right into that when Charlie Barnett.
But
and
Charlie Burnett was so huge, like down in the village.
The village.
Like, when
I
you
would
would
help
go,
him-
you
I
would
would
see him
help
do
him-
live shows.
Washington Square Park.
Washington
I
Square
saw him
Park.
once.
I
was
would help him count
huge.
his money.
Really?
And
How
'cause
much money would he make
He'd
on
make
a show?
$400 or $500.
What, on one show?
I could have cheated him.
in the park.
Yeah,
I
people would
could have
just throw
cheated him.
dollar bills
Yeah,
and stuff.
I could have cheated many times. I never did.
Right.
But he just couldn't count the money. He said, "Jay, help me count my money."
Oh, my
and help him
God,
count
really?
his money. So then the next
So
time
he had a learning
so I
disability.
got him in here, and the next time I saw him, it was a year and a half later on the street. Somebody's calling me, laying against the, and it was Charlie. He goes, "Hey man, what's up?" I said, "Charlie, I can't help you no more, man."
Because he was a drug addict.
Well, I tried to help him. I got him back in here.
Yeah, you can't get sucked in. There's only so much.
Rick Aviles, one time we were doing a show in Philly.
He was so funny.
Rick
What did he
Aviles-
die of? Rick Aviles?
AIDS.
AIDS, right?
He,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
gave,
So
he gave it
funny.
to his manager girlfriend.
She got AIDS? What was her name?
I forget, but
Did she's still around though,
no,
right?
she died. She died before him.
Because they didn't have the cure back then.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Or
God, I
any kind of
forgot
anything.
about that.
Anyway, we pick up these girls at this hotel.
Who,
We
you
did
and
it.
Rick?
Rick. Well, I picked up the girls, and he went upstairs with his girl and this and that, but the girl didn't like him. I guess, with the appearance or whatever. He had bad boys, Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm with the girl in my hotel room, and I get a call. She comes into the room because I don't want to be with him anymore. So she comes in to sit I'm with this girl. And I get a call from Rick. I go, "Send that bitch upstairs, JJ. What the?" I said, "Rick, she don't want to go up, bro. I don't want her to call the police because I'm with her friend. Can you cool? Fuck that shit. Send that bitch upstairs."
That is
She
how he
fucking left the room. Send her ass upstairs. I said, "Rick, she ain't coming up. I'm coming." I said, "Don't come down, bro, because you're
Was
going
she
to
a
fuck her."
prostitute?
No, there were two girls at the show. But he scared the shit out of her.
Well, he was a little scary.
Yeah,
He
he
was a
scared the
little
shit out of her, and she didn't want to be with him. And so she's down in the room with me, fucking up my shit. And he's like, "Send that bitch up there, Jay, if I go down." I said, Rick, chill out, bro, because they're going to call the cops, and you're going to fuck up my shit here, man.
Okay, what's your line? What's your line you use on women? Okay,
I don't
there's a
remember.
girl, they come up to you after the show, and what do
I
you
was
say?
a leg man. I used to like legs. I used to
So
say,
you go, "You're
you
beautiful?"
have great legs. Make a muscle. And,
And then you'd feel their
they'd
legs
flex,
when they
they'd
made.
flex their muscle, and I would fill up their calves because it was just.
And then that was it?
And, once you let me do that, now I wouldn't even
You're
attempt
in.
it. Now I wouldn't even attempt it.
Now you'll
It's
be
a whole-
Me Too'd.
Yeah, exactly. It's a whole. Back then, it was cool. I used to come upstage, take pictures with girls, and they would put their hands down the back of my, my pants and fill my. Well, that's the way it was. I could have called, "Hey, me too. You know what?
Yeah,
no,
yeah. No,
nobody
I know.
thought
It was
about that
different
then.
back then.
Nobody thought about that then. It was fun. I'm not saying you force yourself on a woman. You don't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I never had to do that. I mean, I was lucky enough for whatever, reason they took a liking to me, but, I
Because
took
you were the
adva-
funny guy. You
I
weren't,
took
you weren't
advantage
threatening.
of it. I was
And
pretty.
he was cute.
I was prettier then,
Yes, no, very
Anyway.
cute.
But like they said in the movie, he ain't pretty no more.
You're cute still.
He
You
ain't
still
pretty
got
no
it.
more.
You
Are
still
we
got
wrapping
it.
up
Are we
now?
wrapping up? Just I want to see if there was anything else that I didn't get to.
Well,
Oh, the Latin Kings, but that was with
Latin
Ray Allen.
Legends.
Latin Legends. That's
Yeah,
what
everybody
it
says
was.
the
The
Latin
Latin
Kings.
Kings are the
The
is
Mexican guys out in L.A.
Yeah, yeah. They're
And
not
also
the Latin
Puerto
Kings.
Rican gang in New York.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know
No,
what?
I didn't mean the Latin Kings.
No, it's the
The-
Latin Legends.
the Latin Legends.
It was a semi-documentary. Me, Angel, and Joe, and it should have been 4. It should have been also Al Romero.
Is it still? Is it still?
it's
Why
still
wasn't
around.
it Al Romero?
Because he was in Miami, he didn't want to come up.
are you good friends with Angel?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So we did the thing here. We shot it here, and I was very distraught. I think my mother had just died, and I wanted to wait a year. I said, "Can we postpone this?" And Ray Allen, who was directing and producing, and he says, "Nah, we got to do this now. We got to do this now." And we did the thing.
Who
and-
headlined? Like, were you all fighting over who's going to headline?
No, we separated. We separated me and Angel because we both do the audience. I said I'll go up first, Joey go up in the middle, and Angel, do his shtick at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he gets naked and,
And he
Right.
plays
pulls out.
music and
Right.
he
And
squirts
he
water.
squirts water
You
from his
can't go
dick.
on after
Right.
that.
So I
Yeah.
did, and I thought Joey had the best set, in my opinion. I thought he was clever.
Who,
and he had-
Joey Vega?
Right.
He
I think
does.
Joey Vega's a great
Yeah,
comic.
yeah.
He,
But we went on the road, and we went to our first film fest.
and you are very funny. Oh,
And
You're
and
very good with the crowd
they
also.
They wanted to use me on the post. I said, why? I thought Joey had women. With the film fest was in Phoenix, and this woman who ran one of the films said she kept doing my stuff in my act,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, why is she? Because I my sister said, you probably good that you didn't get loud the way you usually do because you look better on it. Because I was thinking about my mom. I didn't want to do this.
yeah, yeah.
I wasn't even, So I said, you guys are going to have
Your
to
heart
carry
wasn't in it.
Yeah, my heart wasn't in it. But for some reason, it came out, And so they're going on my thing. And then they wanted to fly Ray and one of the comics to Santo Domingo. They were having the first annual film fest. And they wanted me. I said, what about, I'm thinking, Joey had the best set, in my opinion, But they only wanted me and Ray. And I said, well, I can't
Ray
go.
Allen?
Ray, well, he was the one who produced it.
Oh, I see.
So I says,
I don't mean to be, I don't mean to be that.
Ray Allen.
No, but he's not Latin.
no,
Right.
yeah, but he produced the thing.
Oh, okay.
So I said, well, I can't go without Joe and Angel. It's not. It's the three of us.
Yeah.
He goes, well, they want us down there, and so and so I talked to him. They go, yeah, go.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I'm hanging out with Lou Gossett Jr. and Carl Weathers down there in Santo Domingo, I haven't been to Puerto Rico in 40 years. Here I'm hanging out in Santo Domingo. before this whole crap.
Right, right.
Years ago, 10 years ago. So, then we did the New York Film Fest, and they wanted to put me on the poster. I was like, what? I was really dumbfounded by it because I really thought it should have been Joey, in my opinion, because he really had the best.
So was Joey jealous, or
no,
were you guys get jealous?
he was cool, because
And Joey he opens for what's his name?
For Mark
so
Anthony all
everybody
the time,
gets something, and
But they put me on the
Except for
posters.
us.
Carrie, our day will come, Carrie.
That's right, Patty.
The twats are.
I can't believe you
coming.
used that word. Twats?
Two
And it's
tired
so funny.
twats.
It's so funny that you're so offended by these people. Keep
You know,
turning around 'cause
people.
we're so fucking loud.
I'll tell you a story. One
you're
time,
offended by
I'm hanging out
twats?
with Chris Rock at the thing, and somebody came out with Bob, the Reverend Bob.
Levy, we just had him on with the blue cheese.
Levy, and it was the blue cheese thing with the girl.
He eats the
and I
ass
remember
with the
we
blue
were
cheese.
talking about it here, and I said, Jay, you probably did that. I said, I would never do. I'm not eating some woman's ass
Yeah,
with
you
blue.
don't like germs.
Very much. And I remember Chris Rock was hanging out, and Chris Rock, what? J.J. Ramirez had all this pussy, and you gonna complain about? No, man. There's certain things I will not do.
You don't eat an ass.
I will not. Bullshit.
eat
You're
an ass,
J.J.
but not on a
Ramirez.
steak.
Hey, J.J.
You
Ramirez.
had a worse reputation than what you
I mean, I
does.
liked women, but I'm not gonna do sick shit. I'm just not.
But
Right.
what,
Not
eating
what
an
he-
ass?
Eating an
You'll
ass.
eat an
What?
ass.
Yeah. No.
You don't
Not
eat
with
an ass?
ketchup.
Oh, okay.
No.
Not with ketchup or blue
I'll
cheese.
eat that. Twat, but
Not the ass. Okay.
No.
All right,
No,
well, we
I've
got to
had-
wrap up.
Yeah.
Too bad because he had a Dennis Wolfberg story.
Oh, what is it? Quick.
Quick.
Oh,
Did you have a Dennis Wolfberg story?
Well,
or no?
Dennis Wolfberg, people remember. Funny guy. Did
He had
Carson
the pop-out eyes.
pies.
And a beautiful
I remember
wife.
when we had the stools here, and he walks in with a Celtic jacket, and I had my Nick Tack, and I just casually, we used to go back and forth. I love the guy.
Yeah.
Funny man.
Yeah.
And I said, I heard Larry Bird takes her up the ass. I heard he's I heard on the farm, him and the farm animals. Well, you see the eyes popping out. He's like, how dare you? How dare you
That's how he-
besmirch a storied franchise like the Boston Celtics? You, who am an immigrant of some island that they should check your papers. You shouldn't even be. And he kept using the word besmirch. And you besmirch a storied franchise. I'm laughing so hard, my side is hurting. I can't get up. I can't even answer him anymore. You should be deported. How dare you besmirch Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics? What country are you from? And he just went. And it was just one of those guys you miss.
He had the weirdest delivery, but that is exactly. He'd make
That-
one
that-
eye
that-
close,
that one eye-
and that one eye would pop out like
and the word when they went to besmirch, like the eye came with besmirch
And
a
he kinda, like,
storied
spit.
franchise.
And it was so weird because he had like the prettiest, like she was blonde and tall.
Again, Patty.
I know it's
Well,
true.
a lot of stories. I remember when I was starting out and when I was young, I'd go to D.C. a lot to work Garbins. And one of my opening acts all the time when I was there, the middle act was Dave Chappelle.
Really,
Dave
he
Chappelle,
opened for you?
16 years old. Him and the other comics.
Was he funny then?
It was
At
funny.
16?
It's funny.
Always been.
And they
He's
were the
always been a
youngest comics in America. They had a whole
crazy
thing with a paper
talented.
on them.
Really?
And I remember him asking me. I'm sure he asked a few people, but he asked me, I want to do more of that Def Jam stuff. But I'm like, why? Everybody's doing that Def Jam thing, man. You're unique. You got that style, that delivery. Yeah, but
He had more of
everybody-
a Tony
Yeah.
Woods kind of, because he used to watch.
But he
I think-
wanted to be like
Laid
his
back,
friend.
yeah.
I said, yeah, but your friend is doing like what everybody else is doing, man. You got that unique delivery, man. Why
Yeah.
would you? And like I said, I'm sure a lot of people told him the same thing. But I remember I told him. And of course, his friend disappears, and you never knew who he was again.
Right.
And he became Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
He had that conversational kind of
Yeah.
thing.
We got to wrap up.
What did Judy say? Anything else before?
No,
we close?
Judy's crazy. She said she's going to be here tomorrow night. Don't come. Don't worry, he won't.
I came
Aruba
twice.
Ray,
What do you-
absolutely, it is Aruba Ray. Ken Moscow loves Angel Salazar. Maya DeGiorgio's watching. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Maya, how
Are we on
you?
camera at all?
We
Yeah.
are on camera.
Oh, we are?
Oh, you didn't know you were on camera?
No, I thought we were just
You
doing
should have wore a better shirt. Too late
You should
now.
have had bigger tits.
Too late now. Believe me.
Whoa.
I don't want him any bigger than this.
No.
She does have big tits.
I'm
doesn't
a
she?
does.
fat fuck.
You're not fat. Stop it.
Shut up.
Okay, you have anything to promote, JJ?
Where are you going to be this weekend?
This weekend, I believe I'm either going to be, I'm at Broadway,
Okay.
950 at Broadway, and Saturday I'm in a place in Hampton, Connecticut, doing Adios for,
What's Adios?
it's a place, some benefit for Brad Axelrod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've had a nice 6-month run, and this month is,
Okay.
but.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to be at Governor's on Friday night, and Saturday night I'm opening up for Anthony Rodea If anybody wants to see us, we're going to be up.
Anthony Rodia.
Anthony Rodia.
Or
He's a comic, a new
Rodia.
one for an internet YouTube sensation guy, and he's hilarious. This fucking guy does an hour, and the people are like, oh, I can't breathe. And he's doing comedy a year. That's how funny this
Very
fucking kid
funny.
is. He's
I
so on his game with his brain is moving faster than he's talking. It's like, I can see him. He tells a story, and you're like, how the fuck does this kid get that story? He's really talented. But we're gonna be up in you know what? I don't know. Follow me. It's somewhere up. It's,
Go on
It's not
Facebook.
even upstate. I think it's like right in Hastings.
Hastings on the Hudson?
No, remember that club?
Yeah.
I don't even think it's there anymore.
But there's a club on.
Anyway,
Houston
I'm there. I'm at Governor's Thursday, Friday, and then there.
Wait, you're at Governor's this Friday? I'm at Governor's.
I'm not gonna be there. I might be at the brokerage,
Oh, okay.
or I'm at one of the Governor's
But
clubs.
if you are at Governor's, can you please go on after me?
I'm not going on your show.
Oh, okay.
I was just there at the.
as long as I'm not following you, I'm
I
fine.
was there at the.
Really, Pat?
McGuire's a few weeks ago.
That's
Oh
a
yeah, I
great
love
club.
McGuire's.
love
I like
McGuire's.
all those
Fixed it
Long
up
Island
nice.
clubs.
They fixed it up
Those
really nice.
those audiences are just.
Are they the best audiences?
The best.
Fantastic.
I'm going to be at Governor's this Friday and Saturday. I haven't been in there in a fucking 6 years, 7 years, whatever it is. So if you're anywhere near Long Island, please come to my show. I'm going to be on there with Mario Bosco, I believe, is going to be on that show. And my daughter, Molly Kornfeld's going to be on that show, and probably somebody else. And also, I want to promote, my daughter has a web series, and it just rolled out today, the first one, and I wish I could remember the fucking name of it.
Oh my
Jesus
God!
Christ,
And my stupid phone is fucking off,
Wait,
so I can't even look it up.
I think I saw.
What's the name of it? Dangerous?
Check. I think I saw
Danger?
there was something about
I love the pictures. They
What's
look
it?
beautiful.
something about how to lose a man and.
Yeah,
That's
but
something.
what's the name of the web series?
Oh, I thought that wasn't it.
Okay, here's the thing. Just go to Molly Kornfeld, Kornfeld, and she's got it posted on all of her social media, or go to my social media,
And
and I shared everything.
Patty doesn't even know where her social media
I don't even
is.
know where my social media is, but if you can spell my last name.
Adam, how's our Patreon doing?
Hey, listen, we
I think
meant
it's doing all right.
we
actually.
meant to read everybody's Patreon who gave to us.
But Patty forgot the paper.
No, but it's not that I forgot. It's that I don't know the fucking password, so I got to get the password. We're like retarded. I don't know what to tell you.
I gave
Patty
you the
forgot the password.
I don't know the password, so
Adam, how many
Adam.
times?
You got just look in your text messages.
Wait,
I
look
sent
look at
it
my
Adam.
to you.
text messages.
How many
Yeah.
times do I ask you for our password?
Weekly.
We're
Pat,
like
Patty, make love to a husband the night before. He goes, "That was great, honey. What was great? We did
It's
something."
I
sad.
don't
We
remember
did something?
anything anymore.
It's
I
so
wonder
sad.
why I have no memory. But anyway,
Thanks to all our Patreon people. If you want to give us money because we need it, it's costing us an arm and a leg to get to the city. Not to mention the 5 fucking hours of traffic that I got to deal with by myself because I don't have an HIV fucking partner.
Where do you live?
HIV, HOV.
Whatever. I'm gonna get a fake person to put in the chair next to me.
blow-up doll.
Yeah, I am because I can't. I live on Long Island. It's
Oh.
it's
How long it
ridiculous.
takes her to get here? It's
Anyway, I was having a nervous breakdown today. I almost crashed the car. But so we want to thank. If you want to give us money, it's patreon.com/2tiredtwats. Give us
You
your
also-
fucking money.
You can just do a one-day thing if you don't want to do it every
Yeah, give
month.
us one.
Give us a one thing.
shot deal, 100
one
grand.
JJ Ramirez and 2 twats. How apropos.
Adam Hineker is our producer and
Thanks for backing me up,
the
Adam.
man
Appreciate it.
behind
I
all
try.
of this technicality that we have here.
We want to
Thank
thank
you.
the Comic Strip, 82nd and 2nd Avenue, for having us here every week. You guys are wonderful. Great shows tonight. Who's on the show tonight?
I'll
What's
be
her
here
name?
tomorrow
what's her name
and
again?
Leslie Jones.
Leslie
You'll
Jones
be
is
here
here.
I'll be
tomorrow?
here tomorrow and Thursday.
Very nice. And if you're in the city right now, you go anywhere near Dangerfields, I will be there in like an hour. So,
Right. Thank
All
you,
right.
everybody, for listening. You guys are
Thank
wonderful.
you, and thank you for coming and doing our show.
Thank you for
And
having me, girls.
You are the
Appreciate it.
best.
You
Thank
are
you.
the best.
Yeah,
we
you
think
say
you're
that to all the guys.
you're very funny.
Well, Judy
You-
says you sucked, but
Well,
You know, you kill.
Depends on what I'm
and
sucking.
He's a guy who kills, and you
kills
really
every time.
Kills every time, and you're great with a crowd. Like you can work any crowd.
Gracias,
He can
señora.
take a room that sucks
And whip
and
it
he
around.
will turn it around. Like he's not going to just go up there and let them be
all
shitheads.
right, who am I going to eat first?
Not me. you
First
might fall
Judy,
in.
because she has to come. After she comes, Then Carrie.
Exactly.
Since the
You
artist.
got a bad rap here. Anyway, thank you
Hey,
guys
you
for
win
watching.
some, you lose some. What are you going to do?
We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Thank you, guys.